Yo, salutations, what it do? It's Dr. Gamer, all father, the Durag gang, know the vibes like subscribe, let's get it. What's up, Durag Nation? Good afternoon. Welcome to another super news. We are getting lit today because it is once again that time. That's right, Nintendo Direct was today. Big Nintendo crowd here. I know you guys love you some Nintendo. We're going to be recapping Nintendo Direct for you guys. I know that's what the people want. But yeah, also a little company called Sony is having a state of play that I'll be covering later in case anyone cares about Sony and all their small indie games. What's going on? What's up, John Smith, Original? What's up, Perfectionist, Eastwood? What up, Bruno? Appreciate you stopping through. What it do, Justin? Shout out to all my defenders of the Durag Nation. Appreciate you, Eastwood. What's up, Tyson? Mr. Clean Kids. Arenas. He's here for the Marvel's Avengers. I respect it. What's up, King Blackheart? What it do, Zach? Oh, we're going to be, today we're going to be talking the state of play, Nintendo Direct. Mainly, let's be honest, Breath of the Wild 2, because no one cares about any of the other stuff that Nintendo has right now. We'll cover Marvel's Avengers, as well as another game that Marvel's Avengers has managed to live longer than. We're going to be talking about that one. We appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Perfectionists. Curtis is here for Avengers. Curtis is secretly here for Nintendo Direct, let's be honest. What's up, Benjamin? How you doing, my friend? Is it confirmed that we'll be seeing something about Avengers from Sony? Definitely not. Spider-Man 2. I think Wolverine, probably not. Maybe not. Spider-Man 2, I think so, because Sony actually does have to show Spider-Man 2 at the very least before the year is over. I think legally speaking. You here for Fortnite too? Yep, Drew is a massive Fortnite show. What's up, Devon? Putting in that work? Yes, sir. Here for any possible news on Bucky? I feel it. Can we read patch notes on every hero's buff? Indeed. Alex promises that it will be interesting. I hope it's a good interesting, not a what the hell is our Crystal Dynamics doing interesting. So, speaking of Marvel's Avengers and dead games, let's start with our first story. Babylon's Fell. Very clever title by The Verge. For those that forgot, Square Enix, the company that published Marvel's Avengers and eventually sold Crystal Dynamics and all of their Western studios because they weren't performing well, according to them, is finally shutting down Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall was, of course, the live service action RPG that dropped earlier in the year and famously had exactly one concurrent player on Steam, which might be a record. I'm not sure if anyone verified that, but literally there was one concurrent player on Steam a couple months after launch. And now it is finally over. Marvel's Avengers has managed to outlive another game. Hilarious that it's also one from Square Enix. I think that's what makes it even better. All good things must come to an end. Babylon's Fall is not one of those good things, and yet it too is ending. In a statement, the Babylon's Fall teams announced that it would shut down the Hack and Slashers servers on February 27th, 2023, not even a full 12 months after the game's abysmal launch in March of this year. The game's quiet, whimper-like ending is both predictable and unexpected. In a tweet made shortly after the game's release date, the Babylon's Fall team addressed players' concerns that its poor initial reception would lead to early cancellation. The tweet assured players that work on the game would continue and that the team had no plans to reduce the scale of development on Babylon's Fall. And now we have this tweet, of course, announcing the end of Babylon's Fall. It's hard not to see the parallels between this and Avengers, but Avengers is still here against all odds. 2 years later, Marvel's Avengers still here, still pushing updates, still pumping out content. It has outlived all the games compared to that Avengers gets compared to for failures. Anthem, now Babylon's Fall is dead. Anthem's dead. Future Revolution is basically dead. Dripping out content. True. Avengers is by no means throwing content out at a rapid pace or anything, but it still exists. Still getting updates. Avengers won't go down anytime soon because, as Kev says, I can do this all day. They've done it for 2 years, so at this point, it's better to just wait. Just throw your hat to Avengers and just be like, all right, well, if it ain't dead yet, well, we'll just sit back. Mario Drake reads, have you hit the like button after watching Being the Elite? You're Christian AF. What's up, Mario? What it do, Trunks? Poor devs, you wonder if some were ever determined about getting the details right just for the game to have one player. I can only imagine how horrible the development process for Babylon's Fall must have been, because that game was a dumpster fire. Like, games like that really make me appreciate Avengers and everything else, because holy, it could always be worse. What did you do, Jace? You thought patch 2.6 was coming early? Well, we're still waiting for an announcement. Where what is it, like Tuesday the 13th? So we'll see what they have to say when they usually make their blog announcements. What up, Nava Flow? What up, Ability? Maximum Venom. If 2.6 comes out before the last week of September, on the last day, I'll consider that early. I'm most excited for traversal changes or buffs. Yes. Actually, definitely traversal. Actually, you guys don't care about State of Play. Hold up. There was a Nintendo Direct event, and I did not cover it because, honestly, I don't care. And I had other stuff to do. But the big thing is they announced Breath of the Wild 2. The sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild finally has an official release date and title. Nintendo unveiled The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Tuesday during a Nintendo Direct presentation. The name of the Breath of the Wild sequel had previously remained under wraps as it might give away too much. Nintendo said the game is coming to Nintendo Switch on May 12th, 2023. So all you Nintendo fans out there that have been waiting for Breath of the Wild 2, there it is. It's coming to Switch. I still don't own a Switch. Will never own a Switch. But if you're into that, you are eating good. These were the rest of the games that Nintendo revealed, in addition to Tears of the Kingdom. It Takes Two is coming to Switch on November 4th. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is a remake of a Wii game. Fatal Frame is coming to Switch next year. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 New hero Eno is coming with Wave 3 of Zero Chronicles 3 expansion pass. More heroes are coming in Wave 3 as well. Wave 2 first part is coming on October 13th. We got a Fist of the North Star, goated OG anime. Fitness boxing game is coming in March 2023. Tunic, a complex puzzle adventure, is coming to Switch on September 27th. It was released earlier this year. We got Front Mission, Story of the Season, Splatoon 3, Fae Farm, Final Fantasy, Rune Factory. Ooh, Nintendo 64 games. What's this? Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 2 and 3, Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2, 1080 Snowboarding, and Excite by 64 are coming to Nintendo Switch Online in the future. The first 3 are coming in 2022, with the rest launching in 2023. GoldenEye 007 is also coming soon to Nintendo Switch Online, plus expansion pack now available for online multiplayer. Now I'm a little bit intrigued. which is funny. The only thing here that actually interests me is Nintendo Switch Online for the potential of playing old Nintendo 64 games online. That definitely brings me memories. Pokemon Stadium, GoldenEye. GoldenEye was my first shooter that I ever played. I played a lot of 1080 snowboarding and Pokemon Stadium. Those were my games, bro. I love those games. That was the. I feel like that's when Nintendo. I feel like that was when Nintendo peaked. I feel like the N64 was like peak Nintendo, in my opinion. GameCube was and I never really got into the Wii and the Switch. So I pretty much checked out after GameCube when it comes to Nintendo. But 64, that was when I was all over. What up, Beastly? Zelda finally drops. It felt like a Dr. Dre Detox album dropping, but another Zelda retro game would drop 10 to 15 years later. That is true. GameCube was amazing for you. Love the Super Mario Sunshine game. See, I couldn't get into Super Mario Sunshine. I loved Mario 64, but Sunshine didn't really do it for me. I think the main thing I played on GameCube was like Smash and Soul Calibur. We'll see in the Insomniac logo later today, and we'll get hyped. Then the Miles Morales PC trailer will begin. I mean, at this point, as long as I see an Insomniac logo, I'll take it. Sup, that star. Used to hear about Batman's Fall. Key example of a wake-up call to fans to hear we're dedicated to supporting the game from devs. Anything happen? I mean, let's be honest. Nobody actually thought Babylon's Fall was going to continue development, especially once the story broke that they only had one concurrent player on Steam. But yes, I tend to remind people all the time. The better example I cite is Anthem. Anthem was famously shut down after they announced an Anthem 2.0 and actually started their development process for Anthem 2.0. So just because devs say they're staying and the game is going to continue and they're going to keep working or they have a new thing coming out does not mean it's true, because devs are often the last to know. But when it comes to Marvel's Avengers, I have it on good authority that Avengers is not going to end up like Babylon's Fall, at least not this year. I encourage everyone to just kind of wait and see, but if we get past September, I definitely think we can safely assume we're going to be seeing Marvel's Avengers for the foreseeable future. But I have heard some stuff behind the scenes and it looks like Avengers is indeed going to be sticking around. But speaking of Sony, the state of play is later on. Today, it will happen at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. They said that the showcase is going to be 20 minutes of reveals, new updates, and fresh gameplay footage for 10 games coming to PS5, PS4, and PSVR 2. Obviously, people immediately started throwing around God of War, Insomniac, all that stuff. Once again, there's probably going to be some licensed music, so rip my stream, but at least when I cover it, but at the very least, we should be able to get a bunch of people in here and have some fun seeing if Sony will deliver another L, or if this state of play will be closer in hype and quality to that famous Sony showcase that blew up the internet. What's up with Black King? Babylon's Fall felt like it should have been a free game. Babylon's Fall felt like it should have been a free game for the PlayStation 3. I was in shock when I downloaded the demo and saw the state of the game. I was like, what is this? The marketing with God of War has not been good. I mean, that's because the game's getting delayed. I'm convinced God of War is getting delayed, bro. I'm 100% convinced. I will not believe God of War is coming out this year until it literally hits stores. I'm not buying it. I think they're setting up a fat delay. You just want to play Kate Girl on Gotham Knights already? One more month. My fear is it'll be like D23. People are going to be disappointed you're not seeing God of War or anything from Sony yet. Looking forward to Gotham Knights. I'm telling y'all, delay of war. It's happening. No, the game was cool. That paintbrush art style was nasty. Yeah, I respect trying to do something new, but it looked horrible. So we covered that. So now let's move on to Marvel's Not Dead game. So it looks like things are going pretty well over at Marvel's Avengers now that they are no longer owned by Square Enix, and looks like they are full speed ahead on Cloning Labs. We had a couple tweets from Brian Wagner. He's the lead developer of Marvel's Avengers. He mentioned that he had a fun Cloning Lab playtest with a couple devs, including Dr. Bo, who used to be a mod, who was recently hired by Crystal Dynamics. He confirmed that clones were def-labbed, so that session was complete. And of course, he also mentioned the next playable hero, Winter Soldier, who was, of course, successfully guessed by Miller. Can't wait to take this guy in here. So not only are they testing Cloning Labs, but Brian is about to start testing Winter Soldier inside of Cloning Labs. So things seem to be going well on that front, at least. Cloning Labs is in testing. They are testing Bucky. 2.6 was pushed to Steam DB. So it looks like everything is going according to schedule for Marvel's Avengers. No shutdown. Stuff is keep going forward. I pray no God of War's downfall. Not at all. I'm just, after the year we've had and how long it's taken God of War Ragnarok to even start their marketing push, it just feels like they're setting up a delay. When do you think Bucky will come out? In a couple months. What's up, Lemon Rogers? You missed the earlier stories, but if you were here for Avengers, we were just talking about Brian Wagner, the lead developer, is giving us a little tease. He's been really chatty about the game this week. He of course they actually had some voiceover sessions. Not save with yeah, fortunately if you want to play a Winter Soldier when Cloning Labs drops, you're gonna need Save Wizard. Here we go. So Brian previously mentioned that they were going to be doing some new voice acting. They were going to be attending some new voiceover sessions, and he confirmed that he got to meet Jeff, who voices Captain America in Marvel's Avengers. So they got some apparently additional voice acting going from this game's Captain America, which I'm guessing would have to be related to Cloning Labs or Winter Soldier's DLC, because all the general voice stuff they did for Cloning Labs was done a while ago, because Cloning Labs is technically old content, even though they're reworking it and it never got its official release. So if they are bringing back Jeff to do, appreciate that sub, Bunny Bro. So if they're bringing him back to do some more voice work, it's most likely going to be for that Winter Soldier DLC. We know Winter Soldier is coming with Cloning Labs, and his story is tied in. So naturally, if you're bringing Bucky to the game, you're going to need some interactions with Captain America, because that's his guy. So I'm guessing maybe some cutscene related stuff between Cap and Bucky, on top of their interactions in the various outposts. You gotta have those in the elevator as well. Excited stuff. I can't wait to see what Winter Soldier has to say in those outposts. Those outpost interactions are actually pretty funny. I really had a lot of fun running around with Jane Foster and seeing what all the interactions you could have. That's how we found that hilarious one with Cap. Think Avengers going to announce the Hawkeye skin? They've been doing MCU skins lately, but the only MCU skin left, I think, that Miller leaked is the Thor with the Surtur head. So unless they're going to do back-to-back Thor Ragnarok skins, feels like it has to be the classic Hawkeye or Ultimate Thor. I don't think they'll do back-to-back Thor Ragnarok skins. So I think it'll either be the classic Cap or the Ultimate or the Thor. I actually appreciate that sub. I'll go Durag gang. I don't think it's going to be the Hydra Captain America, because that one wasn't done when Miller was data mining it. Cap go to America. You just want to fight Hydra or the Serpent Society? I hope so. Wonder if this will be audio files for Bucky. I think that too. Yep. I'm expecting, there should be audio files, interactions in the elevator, in the helicarrier, maybe even some cutscenes. Does this mean Captain America is coming to Avengers? I can't confirm. Captain America, Steve Rogers, is coming to Marvel's Avengers. Guaranteed. Wait, Bucky knows Cap? Yep. They're friends from work. I feel like Cloning Labs could introduce some weird PvP, like an arena-based PvP mode. You think Cloning Labs can do that? Cloning Labs is basically just a super hive. from what I remember when it leaked. So the mechanics for a PvP mode would be completely different. What if Winter Soldier would say some words in Russian? Perhaps. Maybe have a convo with Natasha, his girl. Really like that alt Thor. Watch it be another MCU Iron Man skin. Miller. That's the benefit of Miller. He didn't include any MCU Iron Man skin in his leaks. So I'm thinking it's classic Hawkeye or Ultimate Thor. Hawkeye's skin is top notch. Indeed. They're gonna make Cap a Bucky echo. Probably. They're gonna give Captain America an assault rifle. Imagine if we get to fight ourselves in Colonial Labs. Oh no, yeah, this is definitely not. so yeah, Colonial Labs is definitely not anything that cool. That would have been a cool idea, but that's not what Colonial Labs is. The original Colonial Labs was basically a really giant hive with a couple puzzles, and depending on how well you did, you would fight a certain number of Abomination clones at the final level of Cloning Labs. I think the max was 4 different Abominations. Bucky would have Rally Cry and Brooklyn Brawler. Cap should definitely get a pistol. They're still claiming Miller's just a good kisser. Imagine. Bucky's gonna have Black Widow's Shadow Heroic. No, he's gonna have Black Widow's summer skin. They're both gonna be wearing bikinis. Nothing on patrol mode, Justin. Not since the last Miller guess. Watch the video. Cash Drop talk about a rumor. They're talking about combining Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers. So is that the big rumor you were hinting at? Yes, it was. It was what I was holding on. I was surprised Casual Avenger did a video about it. So casually. I definitely feel he could have made that hit a little harder, but yeah, that was initially what he was given info about. Miller has been trying to find some research to corroborate it. So essentially, here's the full thing. I mean, Casual already made the video, but so here's the full thing. So someone that claims that they worked at Crystal Dynamics went to Casual Avenger and told him, "Hey, I got a scoop. Marvel's Avengers is pitching this thing to the Embracer Group for 2023. So Embracer, of course, because they were taking over Crystal Dynamics, when they do this, if they are going to decide if they're going to support a game or not, they'll have the developers give them a pitch, and if they like the pitch, they'll reward them with funding and give them whatever they need to fulfill their vision. So I heard that Crystal Dynamics pitched stuff like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch to the Embracer Group. Of course, they talked about what they had in the pipeline, Winter Soldier, Captain Marvel, the Kree invasion. But the big thing they pushed, allegedly, according to this leaker, is a collaboration between Eidos Montreal and their assets and Marvel's Avengers to essentially have an expansion where it would be Guardians of the Galaxy versus the Avengers. All of the Guardians would be brought over as playable characters in Marvel's Avengers, and they would have this whole bigger cosmic theme. it would suppose that's why it would happen after Captain Marvel. They would take this into a more cosmic direction. So you have it collaborate. So you bring in the Guardians of the Galaxy, all its playable characters as part of the expansion, and you introduce new cosmic enemies, including Thanos. That was apparently also one of the things they pitched. They pitched essentially a cosmic theme expansion for Avengers after the Kree invasion, where they would have the Guardians of the Galaxy as playable characters and Thanos as one of the villains. So obviously when I heard it and when Miller heard it, we were very skeptical that Crystal Dynamics would pull that off, but impressed if they did in fact pitch that. I mean, that's definitely the sort of thing you got to pitch if you're trying to get funding from the Embracer Group, because the game's literally online. So as far as how likely that is to happen, I think it's very unlikely, but I mean, we'll see what the Embracer Group does. The future after Captain Marvel is still unclear, and I could definitely see them trying to go big for that post-Kree invasion Avengers to kind of push things in a better, bigger direction. But that is apparently what they pitched, according to someone that works with Crystal Dynamics and has knowledge of the pitch they did to the Embracer Group. That was essentially what Casual Avenger was talking about, and what he went over a little bit in the video. Galactus becomes everyone's side piece in recent comics. Yeah, Galactus is down horrendous, but I think he's still. To me, I'm more excited about a full Herald. I'd rather have a fight with his heralds, bringing his heralds to fight on top of Galactus, and then you get Silver Surfer as a playable character after you fight him. That's what is cool to me about a Galactus expansion. Not just fighting Galactus, but because it'd be kind of hard to put Galactus in as an actual enemy to fight in a game, because he's planet sized. And it would be really depressing if they shrunk Galactus down to fit with the normal boss encounters that they have. Like, imagine those rooms where you fight Maestro and Taskmaster, but Galactus is shrunk down in there. That would not be a good look. But the Heralds will be dope. Those will bring lots of bugs to the game, but you still love to fight them. What up, Craig? Appreciate you. Imagine the Avengers getting those Fear Self outfits. Yeah, who cares about content? It's all about the skins. Sadot the hidden dev. Not at all. You won't have to get his Fear Self outfit. What if he was claw size? Even that would be kind of disappointing. I mean, because even during the claw encounter, Claw regularly shrinks down. Like, if the Galactus encounter was like the Claw encounter, that would be whack too. Because think about the Claw encounter. He's kaiju sized, but you can't interact with him when he's kaiju sized except when he throws down the drill. And then he shrinks down to, tall human size. And then he's basically just a damage sponge. Then he disappears and gets big again. It's it just wouldn't work. I don't like it. They would have to figure out a different way. Unless they make him really cool. Like, they have to, like, if they're going to make him smaller, it would have to be really cool. Because Avengers, the comics characters have definitely fought Galactus in smaller forms, but it would just be, I don't want to. I'm just picturing Galactus standing still while Thor freezes him with cryo with God Blast spam, and everyone just melts him. Like, it's hard for me to picture how Galactus would work in this game and get too excited. Iron Man gonna be fighting Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet Endgame skin. Oh, Captain Marvel too. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. What's the ultimate Thor skin we're talking about? From the comics, Ultimate Thor. Let's see. Miller has been tweeting a lot lately. Let me find the leak real quick. There's Hydra Cap, Winter Soldier, Classic Cap. This one. You did want more MCU skins in the game? Galactus, they get stuck in the T-pose. You don't want the Infinity Gems brought to the game. MCU, MUA3 more than covered that. I don't know if it would bring in the Infinity Stones, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind them as major. I would rather have the Infinity Stones as major artifacts, because this game definitely needs some more cool major artifacts. So I would definitely welcome the Infinity Stones being brought in, because if they did bring them in, it would be based on the comics, because that's largely what this game draws from for its lore, the comics rather than the MCU. So if we have comic inspired Infinity Stones brought in as major artifacts for each hero, I think that would be pretty dope. They haven't really, it's been a while since they gave us a new major artifact. Well, I think the last one was Wakanda, summoning the one that summons Okoye and buffs your vibranium damage. What was that with Beyonce? Oh, that was Miller just memeing. I think this was for this. I think that was his second anniversary tweet. Yeah. This is for the second anniversary. He said, happy birthday to Marvel's Avengers and Beyonce. A cultural mecca, a shepherd of timeless stories that will continue to touch countless lives. A name that reaches into the hearts and minds of a generation. And also Beyonce. Perfect bait and switch. Well done. But either that Thor, I think, will be next, or Hawkeye. I don't think that Captain America is ready yet. So I think this one, so I think there's a decent chance this one is next. Please tell you Beyonce is not coming to Marvel's Avengers. I can guarantee you Beyonce is not coming to Marvel's Avengers. She would not be twerking in a post-credit scene. New content when? This month. Patch 2.6 brings with it brand new content. A new Warzone featuring Monica called No Rest for the Wicked, as well as some updates to gameplay. They're doing some kind of buff for heroics and they're going to do something about Stagger. Thor skin you want is the comic accurate unworthy. Bean Miller. Yeah, comic accurate unworthy. Let's see if we can find that. What do you want? You want the hoodie? You want hoodie Thor? Or this one? Saves a guy with long hair, no shirt, and eye patch. I feel it. Hopefully Dundon Dugan interacts with Bucky and Captain America so they can collide again. Oh yeah, they definitely got to have a interaction with Dugan. They got to do. I mean, they got to do something with him. I think a while ago someone suggested that they make Dugan have him be like a gear vendor of some kind, like have him do like gear reroll. Like if you add gear reroll, have Dugan be the person you go to for that. They should add the Devil Hawk skin. I mean, they could add all of these skins. I imagine, as long as you're paying. Do I think they're going to make some comic outfits for Widow? Probably. They've done it before. Widow's skins sell decently because Avengers fans are super thirsty. That here, Dum Dugan. Yeah, he's just chilling in Substation Zero with nothing to do. He's just waiting for a Bucky to come out, I guess. What's up, Ronnie? So waiting on Mark 50 Iron Man to this day. I wonder if they're gonna have this skin for Bucky within the first couple weeks. That'd be pretty clean. $29.99 Black Widow be fire. Do you think any big game titles like Spider-Man will appear at Sony Showcase? Probably not, but I believe. I have to believe in Insomniac. Have Dugan as a support MTC, like Pym's particle drop. That's Bucky's best MC look. Definitely agree. I know there are going to be people who are going to request his Falcon in the Winter Soldier look, but honestly, this one is clearly better. I really wasn't that fond of the Falcon and Winter Soldier outfit. The only thing I like about his Falcon and the Winter Soldier look was the design of the arm. But other than that, he looks way cooler in this. Well, if they give Hawk his Spider-Man game-related outfit, somehow I don't see them going that route with Hawk. It's hard enough getting them to make Hawk skins at all. I think they're gonna go with. I think if they're doing Hawk skins, it's gonna be stuff that they think is popular enough for people to go for. Yeah, the tech, that Wakanda arm is fire, but The rest of the look, his the short hair, didn't really do it. Didn't really do it for me. I like the assassin look. All black armor, masked up with the rifle. they had MCU had Bucky out here looking like a straight goon. They better give Hawk his immortal look and the Fear Itself one. I think those would probably be money makers if they do them right. His wig was always bad. You prefer short hair. Silver arm makes him look untouchable. Clubbing time. Is he going to have the metal arm? Yep, they showed his arm in the picture. And they did say he was, and I did hear he would have the combat knife as well. Yes. He has, yeah, they showed he has a very cool looking arm in this game. As expected. Have I showed everything what I think it could look like? Yep. I've shown off some concept art before, and I got one in my latest video. Would be cool if they gave us the Iron Man 3099. What's up, Kev? Just recap the news. Breath of the Wild 2 dropping next year. State of Play later this year. Later this afternoon. Babylon's Fall is dead. Marvel's Avengers is testing new content. Winter Soldier and Pony Labs. I'm definitely ready for State of Play. He'll detach his arm and throw it like Jane's ultimate. You mean like Hawkeye's ultimate? Honestly, the State of Play. Oof. I really want PlayStation era, but I don't think it's happening. I really don't think it's. I'm prepared for disappointment. I think PlayStation is going to show us some stuff a lot of people don't care about. I know people want God of War, they want Spider-Man, they want Wolverine. I'm prepared for disappointment. let's put it that way. Online GoldenEye is going to be crazy. That's literally the first time I've considered buying a Nintendo product in like 10 years, just so I can play GoldenEye and 1080 snowboarding and Pokemon Stadium. In latest video, you want him to seriously look like that? Do you think it's a high chance? I mean, yeah. If you look at the design, you can pretty much tell what he's gonna look like, even though he's partly covered in shadow. It looks like Crystal Dynamics is borrowing. Is going to look really close to that MCU look. Yeah, that gonna look crazy. Winter Soldier coming as update. Nope, the update after next. Winter Soldier is 2.7. The next update is 2.6. Can't wait to see that gun. Get a closer look at the face. Can't believe Miller guessed this. How is he so good at guessing? He does it every time. Every time. Miller just guesses wildly, and he just ends up being right. I don't understand it. How someone can be so good at guessing. It's truly impressive. How good of a guesser Miller is. Guns, America. Pew, pew, pew. America. And this is, and according to Miller, once again, another guess from Miller. So consider that another guess. This gun is going to be customizable. So like Black Widow switches to different guns. It sounds like unlike Black Widow, Bucky is not going to switch to different guns. His main weapon is going to be this rifle, and it's going to switch to different attachments. And I believe one of them will be a grenade launcher. So essentially, he'll just be able to customize his rifle on the fly to apply to do different things. And he will have his combat knife as part of his melee kit. He gets his tips from Paul Pelosi. That's a good reference. It's all about luck. Some people have all the luck. Yeah, according to Miller's guesses, you're going to be able to customize it. Not gonna lie, you just want something to do other than the raid. Honestly, I haven't played the raid in a while. Ever since I got my most of my characters now are 175. Speaking of 175, we got Lejeune in the building. Mr. 175 going to war with the community. It's like, if you ain't 175 and you can't play Clone Labs, it's your fault. When was the trigger is going to be? Shadow Ops. See, now it's going to have a full auto mode, a marksman mode, and a grenade launcher. That's a pretty good guess. So Bucky might look a little bit like Sebastian Stan. He might. Not, legally. I mean, kind of similar to how the other Avengers kind of look like weird, like weird versions of their counterparts in a way. Obviously, they can't look too much like Sebastian Stan for legal reasons. Can't wait to noob tube some aimbots. Yes, sir. Speak facts. Exactly. Going this chilling, get ready for this state of play in about 3 hours. Now the logical part of my brain knows that we're probably not going to see Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. But I have hope, Lejeune. I have hope. What's up, Uncle Casual? Bucky's voice is Linda Young. You heard it here first. From Casual Avenger. Bucky's voice actor is Linda Young. Is it customizable in the skill tree? You'd have to ask Miller, the great guesser. But I mean, every part of a hero's kit is customizable in the skill tree. So I imagine Winter Soldier wouldn't be any different. Just like every character, especially characters that have weapons, they have different things you can unlock in the skill tree. So I imagine it'll be the same. I'm probably comparable, even though he's not switching to different weapons fully. I imagine it'll be similar to probably like Hawkeye or Kate, where they have basically one main weapon, a bow and arrow, but they have three different attack settings for that weapon. to see what goes down on Twitter. Yeah, like Hawkeye and Kate. Like Hawkeye has his razor arrow standard, but then he can switch to the cluster and everything. So I assume it'll work kind of like that, except he's just changing settings on the rifle. You're not live streaming it on Twitch, June? So you're just gonna go on Twitter? Yeah, I feel you. The last state of play wasn't it, so I imagine it's probably better just kind of wait, just watch it live, and then if the game you want pops up, you can just make a video about it. It cost the Avengers team a lot of money to get MCU likenesses. Oh yeah, it's never happened. It's literally just never happening. Like, not only would you need to pay a lot of money for the likeness, you'd have to get permission from the actor. So even if you had the money theoretically, the actor might just straight up say no. They should give everyone's heroes 4K defense, 4K melee, 4K. Just give everyone stats. No, I definitely don't think they need to do that. But general, yeah, I don't want them when they do this, when they talked about this buff, it sounded like they were just sounds like they're going to address heroes that might have undertuned heroics. Like what comes to mind is like Black Panther, Captain America, Kate Bishop. They don't have like exactly the strongest heroics compared to some of the other characters. I want them to hold everyone's hand and just, carry them. Like if you want to have high stats, I think you still need to put in the work to understand the gear system and get the right pieces together and build your character correctly. But a flat damage increase for some heroes would definitely be good. I would like to see to make some changes, like to Thor's intrinsic, make it as good as James's. Who do I think we'll get next year? Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch. Think they might give him a submachine gun. Well, we know that's the gun right there, and it is customizable. I forget what model did Alex say was comparable to? Let me check my messages. They compared it to the Scar L or the Scar H or G36 or any military assault rifle. That's what Bucky's weapon is comparable to. Scar L, G36. Yeah, that definitely looks a bit closer to Bucky's. Yeah, that definitely looks like the closer to the model in the picture. So basically that's what they had in mind when they designed Bucky's rifle. Sick. She-Hulk just gone. I have no idea what's going on with She-Hulk. We'll see if Miller gets more info and has a guess. The original assumption was, so the original Miller's assumption was that she's pushed to next year. That's what a bunch of us assumed. Peter Odin, who also has people on the inside, seems to be convinced that She-Hulk is not coming at all now. I guess he thinks the plans have very much changed in regard to She-Hulk. So who knows? G-36, a grenade launcher. Something like this. I imagine this would be part of his weapon customization, where you swap to the grenade launcher for Bucky. Doctor Strange. Better just go in GTA. Want one of those in your gun safe? Eastwood's ready for the apocalypse. Can't wait for Bucky to drop. Bet he'll be more fun to play as than Tasha, Hawkeye, Kate, Kamala, and Hawk. I don't know. That's a big list of fun characters. Hawk is pretty fun. Natasha is pretty fun and also very fun to look at. But we'll see. I hope they do a good job. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time believing if they've done any substantial development on her, they would just throw that character away. Like, to me, that seems weird. But if they were going to cancel her for like Doctor Strange or something, I'm not complaining. Was his rifle from the Winter Soldier movie? What weapon does Bucky have? Use the M249 saw. All right, that's what he used in the movie. Nice. I'm giving you a vibe that you know a lot about Bucky, but you can't say too much about it. Not at all. I know about other stuff. I don't know that much about Bucky specifically, other than what Miller has already publicly guessed. The stuff I'm keeping a secret has nothing to do with Bucky. CD cancel She-Hulk because that's work. That actually would be funny. They said no, we don't want this. That's from Infinity War. I'm not sure. No. We can check the site. Nope. There you go. In Captain America and Winter Soldier, titular Soldier wields several weapons: an M4, a V261 Scorpion, and even intricate Derringer. But today we're talking about the M249 Paratrooper and the Winter Soldier's love of the light machine gun. Bucky doesn't use the weapon until Captain America Civil War. Near the end of the film, he chooses the M249 Saw for the final fight, and he uses it in Infinity War and Endgame. So there we go. Those are his weapons in Captain America and Winter Soldier and in Infinity War and Endgame. If you tell us, we promise not to tell. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. They cancel her because of the Turkish skills. You actually have an FN 509. For those just popping in, quick recap. Babylon's Fall is dead. Sony's State of Play is in about 3 hours. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is called Tears of the Kingdom. Comes to Switch on the 23rd. Brian is testing Cloning Labs and is about to test Winter Soldier. Oh my god. Oh my god, Casual. I know, right? I can't believe Casual's in here spreading his hate as usual. We had Lajuna here too. Don't get me wrong, comic She-Hulk you love, not the MCU trash. Fair. Why don't they change the weapons? Like you want Stormbreaker and Capsule Classic Shield. Well, those are very different requests. So if you want comic book Stormbreaker, which I'm assuming you don't, most people, pretty much 99.9% of people who ask for Stormbreaker don't want the comic version. The problem is because he was not designed with Stormbreaker, that requires a very different level of development. It's the same reason why they tried Stormbreaker and it didn't work initially, because they tried to match the MCU Stormbreaker with the Endgame skin, and it didn't work because Thor has completely different animations. His animations are based on the hammer, and of course then he has unarmed animations. The MCU version of Stormbreaker would not work. You can't just substitute in the Stormbreaker hammer, the Stormbreaker for the hammer. They would have to completely redo all his animations. Brian could do all the testing likes, it still might be glitchy later, right? That's actually true. Yeah, I remember they definitely had similar tweets about the raid leading up to it, and it was buggy as hell. But they've had 2 years to perfect Cloning Labs, so hopefully it comes out pretty good. Introduce Wong as a NPC with Doctor Strange. Introduce and have Wong as a vendor that reroll stats with magic. I'll take it. But if they're going to, like I said, I agree with Bob. If they're going to do Stormbreaker, it can't just be Stormbreaker. It has to be, and it shouldn't be like for a skin. It should be like a weapon, an overall upgrade for all the heroes. Like give them like a 4th heroic, or give them like a major artifact that unlocks a new mode, a new weapon, something like that. That way you can actually justify it, the development costs, because you're giving the whole roster some kind of update. That makes sense. You thought Clone Labs was Avengers versus Clone Avengers? That was never the case, no. Cloning Labs was originally supposed to be a mission. It was supposed to come out originally in September of 2020, and it was essentially a very big version of a hive. There was a bunch of, it was very large, multiple floors, had a couple puzzles, and it was basically supposed to be the conclusion of the AIM storyline. From what I remember. Well, that's how it seems like it's going to be now. But it leaked early. Somehow some people got it in the game early and got to play it. It literally is like a very big hive, a big, more open hive. But the idea was that this is basically an AIM stronghold, and it's the source of all the clones. Like it basically was meant to explain why you've been fighting Clone Taskmaster, why you've been fighting Clone Abomination, and everything was supposed to lead to cloning labs, and where AIM is producing all these clones from. So then you would get through to the last level, and based on how well you performed in terms of how many times you went down, I think you would fight multiple clones of Abomination. I think the max you would fight is like 4 Abomination clones. I'm not sure where that rumor came from, but it was never anything cool like Avengers versus Avengers. It was always supposed to be just this big hive type mission where you fight clones at the end, where you fight like an Abomination clone at the end. And now they're changing it so that they're doing different reworks to it. We'll see how much it changed, but now it's this whole, now MODOK is going to be the final boss in Cloning Labs. And there's going to be a story leading up to it, which we're getting this month. Are they revealing Winter Soldier today? You mean like his face? No. Yeah, I remember the guy in Brazil playing Cloning Labs. I wonder if it's still on the internet somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I could find the leaked footage. Is this the one? Yep, I think this is it. Found a YouTube video. I found the video of Cloning Labs. Hold up. This is Cloning Labs from 2 years ago. Somehow it leaked early in the actual game. and people got to play it. This is uploaded by Hiani Sensei a year ago. Shout out to him. But this is essentially Cloning Labs. This was Cloning Labs. About 2 years ago. It leaked into the game. And people got to play it early. So there you go. Early look at Cloning Labs. Well, from what it was 2 years ago. It wasn't nothing you hadn't seen before. It looks similar to like an OOT. Like it's aspects of this are similar to Omega Level Threat Fan Reunion. It's just it doesn't have that tachyon modifier. This is just one level of Cloning Labs. The usual mechanics. So they've been reworking it. So it's likely a lot has changed, but I would definitely say set your expectations around this level. Because even though they've reworked it, I don't think it's going to be like radically different from what we're seeing here. They're changing it so MODOK is the final villain. Maybe they change some of the rooms around, but I think it's going to be similar to this. It's Marvel's Avengers after all. I don't think they designed like an entirely new thing. Like I think they just went through Cloning Labs, fixed it up so it was more stable, maybe added some new mechanics since they've learned some stuff since then, and of course throwing some new gear in there, incorporated the MODOK boss fight. But most of the gameplay itself I think is going to be pretty much like this. This game definitely needs Eidos Montreal back. In-game fat throw was a joke. Agreed. Not a fan. I'm just imagining how easy this part would be if they kept this. I imagine how easy it would be with like a Jane Foster or like an OP Hawkeye build. Like how OP builds are now. Like but at least all the enemies are going to be 175. Hey, times the games gives you slight anxiety having to rush the content. I just hate the objectives they have in Avengers often. It's like there's Abomination. Yeah, that's essentially what it was. I think this is the last level. So they did pretty well. That means they only fight one Abomination clone. And it looks like he doesn't even have like full boss health. He's just like a straight up clone. Oh, there it is. Multiple Abominations. but they don't have like full health. They're like miniature clone abominations. They have way less. They have way less health than the normal abomination you fight in the villain sectors. So they're much easier to defeat. What is this? This is Cloning Labs from 2 years ago. This is Cloning Labs. Yeah, that was Cloning Labs 2 years ago. Imagine a full team of Hawks doing this mission. Yeah, that would be insane. All the Mario characters in the game are good if you build them right, but you can't wait to see what kind of buffs will be added. Absolutely. I hear Spider-Man is if you're a Spider-Man main, I hear you're going to be particularly happy about 2.6. If Stormbreaker ain't happening and Cav ain't getting their hammer either. I feel like it would be easy to give Cap the hammer. Because there's already a glitch in the game where Captain America can pick up Stormbreaker. That already happened before. So I imagine it wouldn't be that difficult for them to do. But we'll see. We'll see. I do like the idea of having like everyone get an extra heroic. Just like a fourth heroic to unlock. So and it'll be for, geared towards some MCU and comic fans. So Cap unlocks the ability to use Mjolnir. Thor, you can give Thor his MCU Stormbreaker. I think it would be cool. Want to see Bucky's animation of him trying to pick up Thor's hammer? Oh yeah, I got to do I gotta do a new, every time they drop a new character, I have to remember to do an updated video showing every Avenger trying to pick up Thor's hammer. We finally got one that can pick it up. We got Jane. Jane can actually lift the hammer. I imagine Bucky is not worthy. You're confused about the state of play. State of play is happening in a couple hours, completely separate from Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers, we've been talking about, if you're just coming in, we were talking about the lead developer Brian Wagner has been talking about some new stuff they're doing with Avengers. They had some new voice acting. They have some new voice acting sessions apparently this week, including one with the voice actor of Captain America who came through to record new lines. He's confirmed they're testing Cloning Labs, and he's about to test Winter Soldier inside of Cloning Labs as well. What if he tries to pick up Thor hammer in his arm? I would bust out laughing. I feel like he has to try to lift it with that metal arm. Just try to pick it up, one arm it. That would actually be hilarious. Have I played Future Fight? Not at all. I have not played any of those cash grab Marvel mobile games. What happened to She-Hulk coming to the game? Winter Soldier happened instead. They made their choice. Glad they're communicating, letting us know what's going on. Yeah, it's always nice. It's always a good sign, I think, when I think Brian's mainly doing this to make sure that he's been doing this like a little while. I think it's part of the desire to put a good foot forward for the Embracer group, because Avengers is basically has been they're basically being in audition mode. They're auditioning essentially to get more funding, support. So it's definitely important if that's your goal to be doing some heavy duty communicating. Let us know what's going on. Is Jane and Thor also getting buffs in 2.6? We don't know. We're still waiting for the patch notes and the blog and all that stuff, but they have not confirmed which heroes specifically are getting buffs or what the buffs are. We just don't know. Alex was asked, but he just said he can't reveal that yet, but will apparently be pleasantly surprised by the patch notes. You really want Hawk's model to change, as his outfit he has doesn't quite suit the model. Needs to be leaner, like 2008. I definitely agree. He does look like a bit of a chunky boy in this game. I would definitely like a bit leaner look for him. Imagine if Avengers was made by the current team, but bigger and not the trash launch team. I mean, the launch team didn't do everything bad. It was, I mean, Vince was on the launch team, technically, and the combat was, was fire. But yeah, the original team that designed the looter aspect, yeah, that was not it. I think I still need to see more from the current team. We're at this point we're just kind of speculating, but we haven't really got the chance to see what the current team is capable of with money. I mean, some of their ideas are interesting, but I want to see it actually carried out. Because right now, even though Avengers has improved, it's like there's still some stuff where I'm just like, like we're still committing to the multiplayer looter aspect of it, but the end game still isn't rewarding enough. Like the rewards for the raid, too much stuff is still too much reliance on time gating, even in places that don't really make sense, and being a bit too stingy with rewards. Like the raid is like your biggest thing that you've released in 2 years, and people are only incentivized to play it once a week because after the first completion they're only getting one piece of gear. It's just a weird design approach to gameplay loops that still haven't been addressed. But I'm glad they're taking the time to at least address some of the system concerns. I think they can still do more to help out new players, because there's still a lot of new players get into the game are lost after they get to initiative. There's still the matter of them having pretty much no way to avoid major story spoilers after they enter the initiative. The rate I'm be curious to see what the rewards are like for cloning labs, because that'll determine if they've learned anything about how the rewards. I'll be very interested to see what buffs they're going to be doing with 2.6. But I'm mainly excited to test out the stagger. I wonder how they're going to address that. 2023 fitting be lit. I hope so. Hope EA makes another fight night. I have not played fight night in a while. What's up, Dante? She-Hulk really canceled. She-Hulk, like Brian said, they have not officially announced anything about She-Hulk. Nothing about She-Hulk has been revealed officially. Lord Miller has not confirmed She-Hulk's fate. So assume She-Hulk is still coming at some point until we hear otherwise. But no, She-Hulk still has not been officially announced at all. Miller has not said she's canceled. So all we can do is just assume she's been pushed back. But I am personally hoping. I think so they have not confirmed. I didn't see anything about the state of play saying what type of games they're showing, if they're going to be first party or not. They just said they're showing upcoming games. And I know two off the top of my head. What's up, Tony? I know two games off the top of my head from PlayStation that are coming out that they could show as state of play. If the only criteria is it's a PlayStation 5 game that is coming, I mean, God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2. That's what they said in the blog. $20 games coming to PS4, PS5, and PlayStation 2 VR 2. PlayStation VR 2. 10 games. 10 games, not 2. 10 games. So if they're showing PlayStation VR 2, maybe the Horizon game again. I remember the last time we saw some PlayStation VR 2, I think they showed Resident Evil and Horizon. So they might show one of those. If they show one or both of those games, that's two. That's two down. God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. We'll see. If they're only showing games coming, I mean, I don't imagine they'll show. I mean, it could show Wolverine, but maybe they're going to focus on games that are coming sooner rather than later. So I don't know, maybe Forspoken, God of War Ragnarok, the VR stuff. Each game got 2 minutes showcasing out. Doesn't a delayed game mean more polish? Unfortunately, that is not always the case. That's the assumption, but history has taught us not the reality. You know, famously, Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed many times. It was in development over the course of 10 years. The year that it finally launched, it was delayed multiple times, allegedly for some fine tuning, and it launched as a complete mess. So just because a game gets delayed doesn't mean it still will come out polished. That just means when a game is delayed, all that means is the only thing you should assume when a game gets delayed is that the developer has more time to collect pre-orders from you. That's all I think. That's all I consider when I hear a game's delayed. Oh, they have more time to collect your pre-order money. That's I don't immediately assume, oh, the game is going to have the time it needs to get better and perform beautifully. No, I'm assuming, oh yeah, they're going to be collecting some more pre-order money, but the game might still be trash. We'll see. What about Avatar? If this is a PlayStation showcase, I don't expect to see Avatar. We did see Avatar over the weekend. We saw 2 Avatar games. We saw Frontiers of Pandora and a mobile Avatar game, but this is a state of play. So I would imagine they're going to focus on PlayStation exclusives. Batman's not in the game. Well, Batman is in Gotham Knights, technically, but he's dead. Have you gotten a bug where only 2 takedowns work no matter what you have equipped? I've encountered a similar bug. I don't know a fix for it. Batman is dead in the game. But if you read the comic book storyline, the word dead could be being used pretty loosely. Depending on if they are super faithful to the comic book storyline. The Last Airbender game, I'm still waiting to hear more about that, but it's from the rumor that I heard, the Avatar website that published it. It's not a PlayStation exclusive, so I wouldn't expect that to be at the showcase. But I would love to see some footage of it if it's out there. Yeah, until I finish the game and get confirmation there is no Batman at all, I'm gonna leave the door open. Batman gonna be sitting in his chair like, I'm proud of you guys. I was on vacation. I I'm convinced like we're going to see Batman pop up at some point. Like I don't think we're going to have a. I don't think they're going to fully not have a Batman game at all. Not have Batman in the game at all. I'm very skeptical. But if they do release, but if that Last Airbender game is coming out when they said it is, then they better start marketing that thing in a hurry. Because I haven't seen anything about it since that article. They're going to have Batman DLC to get that DLC money. I mean, that would be cash. For sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce out of here. Appreciate you all for stopping through. I'll be back in exactly 2 hours for the PlayStation State of Play. Fingers crossed that we get something actually good. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out. Check out the VOD if you're a member. It'll be up for you. I'll have the timestamps up as well. See you in 2 hours.